The crisis that can bring down the company or can destroy dramatic shareholder value can come from anywhere. As a consequence of the Food Safety Modernization Act, the scrutiny that is being placed on preventive measures has dramatically increased. The reputational risk that today's companies are facing goes beyond the legal boundaries of the company. Today you're creating the facts that will be the basis for your story tomorrow. And that record is unchangeable.
The Food Safety Modernization Act, or FSMA, is the most significant expansion of food safety regulation in over 70 years. But as historic as that may be, to the suppliers in the food supply chain, from the producers to the food and beverage manufacturers and distributors, and to ultimately the food retailers, it is much more than just simply complying to food safety regulation. Food defense is all about protecting the brand.
The whole basis of the FSMA is to try and look at the food safety issue from a proactive standpoint and not just a reactive standpoint of how do we recall the goods that have already gone bad.
When you think about intentional contamination of the food system, food defense, one of the things that many people underestimate is how the global complexity of the food system renders protecting it so difficult.
Having a supply chain that's incredibly long with lots of components to it, lots of handling of the product, just creates a lot more risk.
From an industry standpoint, it's certainly just the diversity of players in the food stream. From the field and the raw materials to the retailers and really the customer and the consumer and the finished. There's so many pieces involved, so many different pieces of infrastructure that keeping the awareness and keeping the consistency across all those systems is probably the biggest challenge for us.
Food's most vulnerable after it leaves the hands of the manufacturers. When food gets into distribution chains, and then you can have some potential problems. So everything you do for food defense is really a big plus for food safety.
The key question that companies have to ask themselves is, do they have a proactive food defense program versus simply a reactive one? And what ADT offers is a secure end-to-end solution that provides them the actionable intelligence that allows them to do just that, prevent food adulteration.
The percentage of firms that realize that they have to pay attention to food defense has dramatically risen. Now most firms, especially almost every large firm, recognizes that food defense is one of their brand and reputation and enterprise risks, and they have to pay attention to it.
For every dollar you spend on food defense, that same dollar is going towards food safety.
I think the most important role that a security director plays in an organization to help with that delivery of safe food is to help everyone understand that we're all in this together. To help everyone understand that we may have the same common goals. Ultimately, all companies that I've worked for, at the end, they want to do the right thing. And it's the right thing not only for the customer or the consumer, it's the right thing for the people in the company, it's ultimately the right thing for the stockholder, it's the right thing for the value, and it's the right thing for the brand.